He's not pointing at his crotch and telling me to speak into it. He actually has the microphone down there. Did you not see what you just did? Where's the microphone? Right there. Okay, we're a little bit early because I was ready to go now, damn it. No, Carl's been sick since he got back. You're on day 3 now?
Yeah, something like that.
You gotta speak in the microphone. We're holding the microphones because we think we're gonna cough into them. And
Yeah, something like that.
what did you get? Because I think I might be getting a fever. I don't know. I took I slammed an aspirin right before we went on. So
I don't know. I'm coughing a lot.
yeah, I'd like to know what you have though, because I think you gave it to me.
Doesn't matter. You cough a lot. Might have a fever.
No, maybe. Okay.
Would it help you if you knew the Latin name of the bacteria that causes this, or the virus?
I want to know what you licked. Who you licked? Was it British? Was it Norwegian? It was. You started getting sick the day we got back, and then you couldn't. You've been off work now for 3 days because you're like a puddle. If I squeeze you, snot comes out. It's pretty bad.
I think I've been off work more than 2 days.
No, okay. I thought today was day 3, so.
I believe it's the second.
Oh, okay. Anyway, no. So I think he hit me today. I don't know. Somewhere halfway through the day, I started to feel like crap. So, but that's okay because we don't have to sit in front of the camera too long. We will show you the pictures. We have to go in vertical mode, it seems, and then we can show you this function here where I can pick pictures like this one today. Then we just have to get out of the picture, but it does obviously cut off side of the photo, but if we're in vertical mode, we can do this, which is kind of nice. So today, the thumbnail, obviously you can't see the river. And move your head, Carl. Okay. Carl has to move completely. We'll just do it this way. That river...
Invisible as soon as my face disappeared.
That river there in the picture is not a river. That's a rock slide. There's a big pile of rocks down at the bottom here, and the road is like this, so I'm assuming it needs to be fixed, but that's the back road to Baca, not E16. So that's what I took a picture of there. But now look, we can do that. If I get the hell out of the way, I can do this and point. So maybe we can look at...
I'm not sure about that, because every time your face disappears, look at my upper body.
Yeah, but you're still in the shot, that's why.
Look now.
Carl's a ghost.
It recognizes me as a human when my face is there, and then it shows the rest of my body. But
we could
if my face is gone and I try to point...
Flip the camera up a bit, but it's still kind of trying to focus on something. But we'll see what we can do, because we didn't do a green screen thing. But anyway, how do I get it back to nothing?
Technology.
Nothing. There we go. I did it. Now you can see my painting of my kids, and yeah. We had a new thing on the wall, which I have to find a place for. This was fun to take through airport security. So this is from Sally Pointer's class that we were at. This is for Sprung. This was the bonus class that I didn't realize was going on, but my boss let me sign up for it since I was already there. And we were able to find a different route to get into Oslo. But this is my Whomping Willow. I don't know if it's a willow, but it's from England, so it's officially a Whomping Willow. I left the strings on here intentionally when I took it through customs or through airport security, because otherwise it's just a bent stick. So I asked the guy, and then we were all laughing about this because there's also one from Australia who was also in the course. She's like, I don't know, but this is agriculture. I think she's doubly screwed. But they were laughing about how we could try to get it home, and I said I didn't know if she had to soak the reed first in order to get it to bend like that, or if it just did it when it was fresh. I don't know. But I didn't want to... I have to do a presentation from the class of what I learned at the class. So I didn't want to take the time it would take to bend a new one, so I just tried to bring it home, and they just laughed. They rubbed it down just to make sure there was no gunpowder or residue on it. I don't know. It was really weird. But the guy said, okay, he said, you want to take that through? And I said, yeah, I actually kind of want to take that through. But, if I can't, I can't. I can make a new one. It's just I didn't want to make one. They said, all right, but I'll see what I can do. But what the hell is it? I'm like, it's a Neolithic loom, a Neolithic sprang loom, sprung. So he goes and talks to his friends, and they're laughing about it. But and then they finally get through, and I see it on the end, and I asked the lady, I said, that belongs to you? Yeah. So then she... uses was it GSR they call it, or whatever it is, I
don't think I would care if it was gunshot residue.
I don't know what it is, but they rub it down with a cloth anyway, and she says you can have it, but they said, but only if you tell us what is it? Because apparently, and then all 6 of them huddle around me. And I mean, it's like they got nothing else better to do in the airport security line. A lot of people are trying to get to their planes. And we hadn't realized at this point that our plane was leaving 50 minutes earlier. That's another thing. Anyway, so I said, and the guy goes, no, 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 no. It's a loom. And then they said, okay, did you tell him? How the hell did he know? And I said, yeah, no, I told him. He said, you weren't supposed to say anything. So then I showed him a picture of the sprung work on it and said, it's a Neolithic. But they let me take it on the plane, and believe me, I got a lot of looks on the airplane. Norway's like, what the fuck? So anyway, that's my... I don't have to make it. I have a Whomping Willow that Sally Porter made. Or Sally Pointer. I said Sally Porter, didn't I? Well, anyway, there we go. Okay, I got to catch up on chat here, and then we'll show you some pictures. It's a great story. I even took pictures of it. You can go onto my Facebook and see it. It's you don't have to be my friend on there because I only put people on there that I've actually met. That's because people that are on the friends list can actually see photos of my kids and things. But everything Gudvangen and Nalbinding related is public anyway. So if you're following me on Facebook, it's just as if we were really good friends. But anyway, you can see the picture that I put of that through airport security. Oh yeah, that was another thing too. So then we get through airport security and we see that it's like 9:50 in the morning, and we don't get a gate, and our gate isn't announced. The flight is there, but we don't get a gate until 10:10. So okay, so we go and sit down at 10:20. We figure we should probably go look at see if we have a gate now, and then it says boarding gate closing at 10:30.
Yep.
And then we had a gate that we had to run to, and we literally got there with 1 minute to spare. And then I'm sitting on the plane, and I look at it after we get everything settled down. It starts to take off. I look at my clock, and it says 11:08. And like, Carl, we're supposed to be leaving at 11:50. What the hell is this? And then I go and look. My tickets had actually been updated within a day, and I didn't know. But thank God we went to the airport early. So that was another fun thing. And then when we got to Bergen, we bought alcohol.
Yeah, it was probably just the side effect of the Heathrow thing.
Yeah, it might have been
That,
I don't know why it was
that-
bumped earlier, because it happened sometime when we were in England, at least.
Yeah,
At least one day earlier.
But Heathrow is a big airport and it was completely closed for a day.
Because it
causes
caught on
an
fire. Yeah, there was an
enormous
electrical fire.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
causes an enormous backlog of flights
Yeah.
that I have to manage somehow. So a lot of it will be splashing over on Gatwick.
Yeah. Oh, so that was interesting. But no, we were not affected by Heathrow at all. We actually got there, I think, 2 days prior to the fire.
I think this was an effect of Heathrow.
Yeah, maybe it was. But there was still some room on our flight anyway. But according to other people that were affected by it, they were being I thought they would just, would get routed to Gatwick or Manchester or something like that. No, they got routed to Paris. Some got routed to Norway. Some got routed to Germany. They got routed everywhere. All these flights that were supposed to land. Some went all the way to Reykjavik in Iceland. I thought, wow, how do they? And then they have to try to get a flight from there into Gatwick or something. So that was kind of interesting. But no, actually, everything else went just fine. We had on the way back from our class. That was the other thing too. I was going to the class for the second day, but the hotel in Ashbury, there's one hotel pub. I think it probably only has 5 rooms. They were booked for both nights. So I had Saturday after the class, we had to book it. We got a hotel in Swindon. Which was slightly better, this part of town in Swindon, actually. It was like 2 blocks over, but it was a little bit better. But Swindon, obviously, as I found out through my taxi cab driver, has been pretty hard hit from COVID. I think a couple of factories or a couple of industries had pulled out, and that's why there's so many vacancies in the buildings there. Anyway, but there's a lot of construction, so maybe something's going on. And then Albert's telling me, oh, but you have to see the outside neighborhoods. They look much better. And it's true. So yeah, on Saturday... we get a taxi ride back, and this is where he's telling us these things that no, you can see it's actually much better too. Or no, we got a ride from somebody at the class. That's right. And then on Sunday, that was it. Sunday morning, because according to Google worked for everything. If you click for the directions, it'll tell you you have to board this train at this platform, and it's leaving in this time. And then you switch to this one. It's got everything figured out, not just which way you go on the maps while walking, but also where you need to go. And it's great. Everything to where the restaurants are nearby you, where the local Tesco grocery store is. That was fine. But it also said that there was a bus leaving at 8:45 in the morning to Ashbury, so I would make it to the 10 o'clock class. So I go and show up for it, and the clock's 8:43, no bus. Which, by the way, we found out we have the short bus that we found out on Friday. Then at 8:45, still not there. So then I start looking at this sign, right, and Carl thinking, maybe you should be a little concerned here. There is a sign. It says that Sundays there will be no routes, but it's not. It's from like the 25th of March. And so then I look at the 20, and I'm like, yeah, but it's not the 25th of March. So I can't figure it out. And then one more line down, 2022. So there was no bus. So I called a taxi cab, and then I said, I'll just go wait at the edge of the road for you. I just kind of Googled to find one and had one coming. And as I go to wait on the side road, I realized there's a whole taxi stop, so I probably could have just boarded the one that was there. But we had a good taxi driver. I had a good taxi driver. You were staying at the hotel. So I could see on the drive there a lot of nice area anyway. And then he was even arranged to be able to come and pick me up so I wouldn't be stranded out there. So that was good, except for he forgot to tell his dispatcher, and they freaked out. And when I called and asked if I was afraid they had left without me, but no, apparently they were 20 minutes late because they forgot. Anyway, but he was telling me on the way home. He said, we actually do offer shuttle service straight to the airport. So you can actually, instead of trying to catch a train at 5:28 in the morning and then transferring 4 times to get to Gatwick by 9:50, which turns out to be a really good thing that this happened. We can drive you there for £185 max. It might be as low as 165, but it would not go over 185. We can pick you up at 6 in the morning, and we'll have you there at 8 o'clock, which was really good. And it turns out that that turned out to be, when 185 pounds, I thought I said kroner. 185 pounds turned out to be a good thing, because just the train from Leeds to Swindon was 222, and we got tickets that had us standing for most of that trip. So anyway, sorry. So actually, it turned out to be a really good thing. Not only that it was a much better rate, it was also a straight shot. We were dropped off right there. Everything was fine, but we saved a bit too. And then, of course, our flight went earlier. Oh, you need to... yeah. Okay, so anyhow, I'm going to take a look here on chat, and then we'll show some pictures. Audra's here, and James is here. Audra said they had a solar eclipse today. I didn't know that. I missed it. I never would have saw it anyway. It's overcast skies today. James says he's working on Nalbinding mitten, and the other one is knitting clock, and it's a machine on the wall, but I'm using knitting needles. I have this image in my head, and I don't think it's quite what he's talking about, but I want to kind of see what that is. It's a knitting clock, and it's a machine on the wall, but I'm using knitting needles. I want pictures. And then Albert's here. Albert sent Carl a beer suggestion. It was called, what was it called? It was from, huh? Cuckoo. It was a Cuckoo beer, Kuckoo, I think it was. It's a Finnish beer, and he said that he thought Carl would like it, and it turns out there's a couple more varieties of that. And he got it at Vinmonopol, so we did not see it, but we haven't been to Vinmonopol in Bergen yet, so we shall see. But that one looks like something we have to try, and there's a whole bunch of them, and it's got like this cock on the front. I mean rooster, people. Carl does think he's able to handle a beer today. We've got one from the tax-free. We've had this kind before, this Schlugen. It's a little bit mirrored, but too bad. This one is a porter, and it's 6.8%, so I think he'll like it. But he's thinking the beer might do him some good today. Was it carbonation you thought that was in here? Fra vackra och ville norska fjordar. From beautiful and wild Norwegian fjords. You can see the mountain. Where was Schlugen from again? Do you remember?
If I remember correctly, it's Sunnmøre somewhere. Ålesund area. But it will be on the label somewhere.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Trollbryggeriet. The address says Liabygda. Where's Liabygda? No. So you said it was. You think it's somewhere near Sognefjord? No.
Somewhere near
Sunnmøre or Ålesund? Okay. På Indre Sunnmøre har det i generasjoner vært tradisjoner å brygge matøl og kornøl. Trollbryggeriet ønsker å videreføre denne arven ved å brygge øl med karakter tuftet på håndverksmessige metoder med lokalt særpreg. So in Inner Sunnmøre, it has for generations been a tradition to brew malt beer. What is it? Just malt beer, isn't it?
Yep.
Or corn beer. The Troll Brewery wants to share this or pass it along, this tradition along to brew beer with character tufta What's that?
Founded.
Oh, founded on handcrafting methods and local. Oh, what's the word for sarpreg again? Specialty. Flavor. Okay, I wasn't even close.
It's not directly
We've had this word before.
Sarpreg means special track, but it isn't a translatable term to English.
Okay, don't know if you could hear him, but okay. Eit overgjære øl med mørkt til svart farge. Do you remember what overgjære means?
Yes.
It's not. It translates directly to overyeasted, but it wasn't. Do you want to explain that one? See how much you remember. Jay's gonna watch this.
Actually, what we were talking about with Jay was undergjæret,
Yeah.
overgjæret. But this is obviously not an opposite.
Okay. You're gonna make him do a face palm. Ølet har god matpreg av mørke matsorter med smak av sjokolade og kaffe, med en balansert bitterhet og litt humla-aroma, so I thought Carl could handle this. The beer has a malt preg, or what is it, a malt hint, of dark malt varieties with a taste of chocolate and coffee and a balanced bitterness and a little bit of hops aroma. I think if I translated that correctly.
It's supported. Like the stouts are pretty hard to fuck up.
Oh, and he's doing it the Carl way. I'm losing my screen here. There we go. I'll have to, while you're doing that, Robert Reynolds is here. He says, yeah, I'm actually going to catch one live. Woohoo! Torben's here. He says, hello from the House of Pain. Torben just moved his kitchen table with his pinky toe twice. I did that with the bed. I don't know what it is, but I have a tendency to just like get the corner right between those two toes, the big toe and the next one, or the two end toes. Nella's here. I said she had a new video out too. You have to check out. It's Knitting with Nella. She's been spinning wool. It's such really pretty colors. You have to go and see. Susan Youngman's here in Adirondacks. I like to say Adirondacks, and she knows it. Good Nalbinding weather. So yeah, it's rainy. So yeah, no, I agree with you. That's the perfect rain. 1-to-1 Nalbind with. Torben says, to quote my youngest, "Daddy sad." Oh, I have to sneeze. Might be getting sick. Okay. Looks like a good Vong in Mount Rushmore with Carl carved out in the in the mountainside. Oh, that did not look good, Carl. What do you think?
What?
The look that you just did when you took a sip of that.
No, it's... My taste buds are not entirely up to speed. I don't think there is anything wrong with the bear.
No, you have to talk into a microphone, though, because they can't hear you. You just have to pull it away from your face when you cough or sneeze.
If I'm to take a guess, and that's kind of what I have to do, because my taste buds are not working properly.
No.
This is a little bit too bitter, but it works.
Yeah? It's a border. It should be good. Do you taste the chocolate and the coffee hint?
No.
No, I can't imagine you would. But apparently it's in there.
But
speaking of chocolate, yeah?
Chocolate and coffee hints in beer is something I very rarely taste, even when I brag about it.
Audra, send me chocolate. Well, she sent Carl some too, but I ate most of it. No, anyway. This one was Jodasis Chocolades. I'm saying it completely wrong. Dark chocolate, and it says, my love, love you. This one was really, really good. It was like a little on the sweet side, like a hint of cherry or something like that, but which is kind of fun because I actually don't like berries, but it was just a small enough hint that it was really good. There's nothing left. I ate it all. And then she sent this one. Do you see, out of all of this Italian, or I think it's Italian anyway, but do you recognize anything questionable about the name of it? Peppercornio or something, pepperoncino? What did you think of this one? This one Carl got to taste.
You remember the Jingle Balls episode?
The Jingle Bells episode, you got to talk into the microphone.
You remember the Jingle Balls episode?
The Jingle Balls, yeah?
Yes.
You're old this.
Oh.
Why, are you going to sneeze?
I might, and I don't really need to speak a lot right now.
No. It's got chili in it. Let's see. It says Modica chocolate, so dark chocolate, with chili pepper, 60% cacao, made in Italy. It was strong. So, I mean, I took a good bite out of it at the beginning. I thought, oh, okay, this is going to take some while to eat. But actually, with my nose, I mean, yesterday my nose was, I thought maybe I might be getting sick today. I think I definitely am anyway. But if you took little amounts of it, it really did kind of help with your sinuses. So I have to take real small bite at a time, and then it's good. So thank you for the chocolate outer. This one actually really hit the spot. And chili's not really my thing, but this one, it actually was a really good time of year for it. But small, little teeny, small mouse-sized bites. It was perfect. If you take a big bite, you're fucked. Okay, I keep losing my window here. You gotta hold this. I'm just gonna put it on you. Okay. PJ's here. I was spronging, making a snowshoe. Yeah, one thought it was a snowshoe, another one thought it might be a racket. Anne's here from Belgium. She's having nice weather and a quarter solar eclipse too. Glad she kept her eclipse glasses from 1999. Torben says, oh yeah, I already read that about the Mount Rushmore thing. You're like the weather girl now, Karen. That's right. Nobody has weather until I've announced it live. We will look for the Albert says, I hope you find the Finnish beer that I found. Yeah, I think we have to look for that one. There were some interesting different varieties too. If you look up, I think it was KUCKOO was the name of that beer. I have to look it up. He's got it on chat here. There, Albert. Here, I can take a picture of it. Let's see. If I turn my camera, there, nope, there. That was the name of the beer. Oh, it's KUKKO. And that was 5.5%. So that one we're gonna have to see if we can find. I saw they had a whole bunch of different kinds of it. Okay, we'll put that back. Heidi is here. She says, "Hey, go bedring bigger too." Yep, we will feel better soon, I'm sure. Then Nella sent me a link too. I should look that up real quick. Nella's from Finland, so she might know this beer very well. Let's see what she said. Oh, there's like a whole page of it, but first it wants to know if I'm at least 18 years old.
Yeah,
okay.
To look at bear, you should be at least.
It's a happy little, gotta see this. It's a happy little Finnish guy saying, "Are you 18 years old? Are you at least 18 years old?" Yes, I am. And then you see all these different kinds. I think the blue one looks interesting too. And there's like Greece and a double IPA. Have you tried these, Torben? Torben might need to try some of these too. There's a strong one, a wheat one, strong and bitter. The Challenger Ale always sounds good. Ooh, Citra Lager. That sounds like one for Carl. Oatmeal Stout. You might like Oatmeal Stout. Did you have one of those in the United States? Didn't
No.
you? I thought you had an oatmeal stout, or was that my little brother maybe?
No, it was actual milk stout.
Oh, okay.
Oatmeal.
Oh, okay. Well, so much for that. So then we'll have to look and see if we can find those. BJ's managed to photograph some of the eclipse as well. Hard to tell in mirror writing. Yeah. Oh, it shouldn't have been backwards when it was on the screen. Anyway, it was KUKKO. Just look it up on Google. Prude is here. She said, last week I was in Berlin. Our train got delayed by literal, and I'm not going to read that word out loud, but oh my God. That would be, there's a story in there somewhere. No, I just don't want to tempt the fates of YouTube and censorship. Albert says, I hope you didn't have time to go to the Steam Museum. I assume you didn't have time to go to the Steam Museum in Swindon. No, we had zero time. We actually were in Swindon one night longer than we did, so we had to like quickly try to book our hotel in Swindon for one more night so that we could go to the Sprong course. Or we went to the Sprong course, then we stayed in overnight, and then we were catching a 5 o'clock train. Or so we thought. Ended up being a 6 o'clock cab. Karen's here from Minnesota. It says, hi Tom, Minnesota, but hi from Minnesota anyway. I know where Karen Oker's from. Good to have you back. Carl will not enjoy Citra Lager, says Torben. Shut up. Okay, did we get everything? Okay, now I'm going to show a picture. Oh, actually, I can show a little bit of this I managed to make on the Sprong loom. This is the bad side. This is actually a horrible piece of homely looking thing, but this is a bit of a miracle. Because I did it with one color instead of two. And when you have two colors, you can see the front and the back quite differently. But when you have just the one color, you kind of have to really keep an eye on which thread is next. So that was a little harder. So this was actually quite a cool thing for me to do. Let me see if I put this back on. I think Carl's running out for a second. This it has a lot of stretch. That's the thing with sprung. It could stretch even further if I didn't have a thread at the bottom that was hampering it from doing that, but you can fit a lot of things in it. Okay, so this thread at the bottom, this is actually the middle of my project. So when you have this whole project on there, you have to fold it in half, and then this is the middle. And sprung is like twisting two threads back and forth, or around each other, back and forth around each other. So when you let go, it's like taking a rubber band and twisting it like this. As soon as you let go, it snaps back. So you kind of have to have a thread in the middle to keep everything from coming undone. And if you make one mistake, it's just like looping around each other, and it doesn't do this crossing thing. But my homely little project is also a really good example of something else, which I kind of need to do. This is the top of my sprung, and it's really nice and tight. And what you do at the top, you have to make sure that you try to match your gauge at the bottom. This would have been like this way would be the bottom, but you can see my gauge is not matched. It's much looser. So I have some work to do, but this is a good example at least of how your gauge needs to kind of match. So that's what I made with that one. I made another little bag I posted a picture of. Oops, there. I made another little bag that I posted a picture of, but I don't have that nearby for some reason. So I have to learn more. Make hairnets and hats. I wonder if I have, oh yeah, my samples. Sorry. This one, we made this cord. This is flax. It's kind of hard to see what's going on here, but this is basically simple looping. She had a really interesting start method, which was quite different than what I do, but simple looping has a lot of stretch to it. So this is not my favorite one, but it is really handy to have this one for cord craft. Then she taught us twist and loop. That's what this is. It's also kind of hard to see, but if you're a crocheter, it kind of looks like a double crochet for Americans or treble crochet for Brits. It's like a little bit taller in there anyway. And the one, I don't seem to have it on me right now, but it doesn't matter. The one I liked the most was the horizontal one. It's like you kind of like do this long piece and then you go around like a pouch. That one is the hybrid Vig stitch, and I'm going to be naughty and tell you that we're going to do that stitch next month because we need something easier than the Polvijärvi stitch that we're doing this week, or this month, which, by the way, I don't know how yours turned out. Mine is still not much further than last time, but this is a 5-loop stitch, and it wasn't for the faint of heart, so if you tried it and failed, don't worry, it's not that easy. But once you get the hang of it, it's much easier, but still. So I will finish that, but this one I thought I have to put the camera down so we can see it properly. So we'll do the hybrid Vig stitch, and the hybrid Vig stitch is basically simple looping around a core. So we'll do this next month. This time I intentionally made my cord purple so that you can kind of see it a little bit. But suddenly, I'm having a little bit of a wave here, so I have to kind of adjust my increases a bit to compensate. Suddenly, I like the simple looping much more because when you put it around a core like that, it's much more solid. However, it will not stretch at all with the width because you have a core in there. So that's what we're going to do next month. You don't get to see what this looks like until or how to do it until next week. You can cheat and look it up. I won't tell. But this is the stitch of the month for April. And then Max, I think we had to do, and Peruta, we're going to do a color that had to do with autism awareness for March, or for April. So you have to remind me what that is. I thought oops, I'm turning it the wrong way. I thought for some reason it was blue, in which case we just did blue, so maybe we have to go like dark blue or something. We'll figure it out. Okay. All right, next. Pictures, so I can take this thing off of me and Carl can tell you what he can see. And I think we have to get out of view for this. But that was the extent of my wonderful needle binding today. Was the nettle cord that was used. We had nettle cord, but we didn't use it there, but I have nettle cord from, that I can make, we have a lot of stinging nettles in the village, so I'll make some from there. But that one we actually used flax. I think she showed all kinds of different plant materials that we could use, which was a good one for me. Bast, for example, you could take willow and soak it for a long period of time, and it'll start separating into layers, and you get these long sheets, but you can just split them apart. And then I thought, I don't really have time to do all these get all these fibers prepared and such to do a presentation for the Freeman employees at the Viking village, and then later we can do stuff in the summer for the rest of the tourists. But right now I have to do a little test run on them in case I fuck it up. But I found out you can make cord with newspaper. Look it up. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube, but try to make cording, applied cording with newspaper strips. Same concept. But also you can also check out Sally Pointer's YouTube channel, and you can see how she makes the cordage there as well. So I think that's what I will try to do. Then they will just have really dirty hands when they're done, but it's the same concept. And the newspapers are all ready to go. It's recycling. You can make a basket with it, I guess. Perudices for autism, I suggest either rainbow or gold. Also, Mobius loops for the infinity symbol. Ah, okay. I think we can try that. Okay, so we will figure something out. But now I'll show you some pictures here for Carl. We have to go like way back, so here, bear with me. I don't know how I can see my whole camera roll here. There we go. Holy crap, we took a lot of photos. And there's the Leeds Museum. We're focusing mainly on Leeds Royal Armories because this was something that got Carl all really excited. He likes his weapons. Okay, explain, Carl. Let's see. I don't know if we can see the picture of it there. Here is Carl looking very happy in front of the Royal Armories because he finally made it. And there's that symbol on the outside. That's the picture you were talking about last week. The Henry VIII mask thing. But we'll see that one.
It's his helmet. He got it as a gift from Maximilian I of the Holy Roman Empire.
Yeah.
But we'll get a better picture of the actual helmet.
Here he is, much further out. But it's hard to tell, but he's there. It's cutting off at the side. We're going to try to go back for his 50th birthday. Carl turns 50 this year. It's about time he catches up to me in October. So we thought actually getting to Leeds was a lot easier than we thought. So maybe we'll try to go because they have this Heroes Coliseum thing. Oh, it looks like we're really delayed when it comes to YouTube. At least on when I'm watching it, I can see I'm just now starting to look at the stuff I made in that class, so it'll catch up. Anyway, let's see. Then this, if you look, this is that pyramid kind of thing that Carl was talking about. It's actually a mirror, and then you were looking. It's helping you to look up, because if you look up in that direction, you'll see this. And do you want to explain what that is, Carl? I'll get out of the way.
That's a collection of, I would guess British, but I'm not sure. Bayonets, swords, and pistols and long guns. Judging from how they look, I would say 1700s, 1800s, most of them.
And there's a spiral stairwell that goes all around that, so you get to these little points here and here where you can look through. And I might have gotten some photos from that too. Yeah, I did. Here's one looking through. And you can see a lot of, is that the pistols and the bayonets? Yeah, the bayonets. Do you see what's in that picture? It's kind of cut off at the side, but that's basically looking through one of those little holes.
It's hard to say without zooming in.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping my YouTube would catch up on my computer, but it's
you have a layer of pistols.
Maybe
I think they're percussion, which puts them in the late 1800s or after the Napoleonic War, most likely. Then you have bayonets. Then you have... I should be able to recognize the rifles, but...
Oh, I seem to have such a huge buffer on here. Oh, there, now I can kind of catch up a little bit.
No, I can't say for sure.
Ah, okay, I just have to move my mouse. And no wonder I was like 5 minutes behind. Okay, there, now we're like right up to date. Okay. Oh, it's kind of fun watching Carl's face just slowly visualize with the picture. Okay, anyway, but those were going all the way up, stacks and stacks of it. We got a lot to get through. Then there was this. That's like... I was thinking about using that as a thumbnail. It's the horses with the people on it. Like the installment of people in their full armor riding on the horses and stuff. You can see it a little bit here now, Carl. now that it's kind of caught up a little bit. Your head is creeping in. Why don't you take the computer and sit there and you can kind of see a little bit so it doesn't block the image. There might be like a much shorter delay now. Okay. Let's see. There's a lot of photos. Would you remember what this is? This is a helmet. Is it catching up?
There is a little bit of a delay.
There's a little bit of a delay, yeah. But it's got like a bit of gold on it.
That's early one. Greek, Bronze Age.
You might have one more photo
Don't
of
know.
it. No. Not the same helmet, but a different helmet and the exit sign. So there weren't any lights focusing on any of the stuff in there, obvious reasons. And everything's behind glass, so it was really kind of hard to take pictures without getting glare. But did you see what that kind of helmet is? That's another helmet that was there, I believe. And a sword.
I would say Anglo-Saxon, but I don't know. This...
Might be. Okay, we'll go to the next one. We got plenty. It doesn't help that the pictures are slightly
Yeah,
cut
it's
off.
Anglo-Saxon.
Okay, then we had this guy. Archery. He was also Saxon, but it was kind of nice to see what he was wearing. There's a couple, for us textile people, there's another picture. I don't know which one of them is better, but he's got this really huge longbow. Yeah. Let's see. Then we have these. Do you see what those are? The pistols. I took a picture of everything. You see? You've got your head like right into the computer screen, so.
These are very early handguns.
Yeah.
Hand cannons and matchlock muskets, I believe.
I'll keep flipping through, and then you tell me when to stop on one or go back. This was a. These people are quite lifelike in size anyway. They're not real people, but this is the ones that were standing on the floor, and you said that you think that their stuff is faded.
Yeah, their clothes are clearly faded.
They all look like they're purple.
I think their clothes were a lot more colorful earlier on.
Yeah, and there was a little bit more on the sides of it, but unfortunately it's chopped. I don't know if you can see it better there. Nope, the guy just keeps falling down. Okay, then there's a shield, a buckler, and this is the one that had the spike in it. And it kind of... This one's bigger than your dinner plate looking shield, but not super huge. Is it catching up on your screen? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can try to make you go a little bit more ahead on that one. But that one had the spike anyway.
This is an actual buckler. It's I believe it's European. I'm not entirely sure because the Middle East and the Far East also uses shields that are very similar to this. But I believe this is a European buckler.
I think that was in that book that we were looking at real quickly too. There's another shot of it. Oh no, that's one that's kind of next to it, but again, you can kind of hard to see what it is exactly. For the textile people, this was kind of cool. It's clothing. I did not take a picture of whatever. I'm kind of relying on Carl to know the time span of everything. I was just running around taking pictures of everything. But it was nice to see how these things are constructed.
That's not clothing, that's armor.
Armor, sorry. What kind of armor is this then?
Not entirely sure. I suspect it's brigandine.
Yeah.
So the things you see sewn into the fabric here would be metal strips.
Oh, cool. I didn't see that. Well, I mean, I probably could have. I was too busy trying to see if the picture was clear. And if my fat ass was in the reflection.
There was a thing. The Italians discovered how to harden steel very good.
Yeah.
So their armor was super superior. So the English kept buying brigandine from the Italians. And the Italians, because of style reasons, they kind of wrapped the metal in linen or silk, kind of like this.
Yeah.
The thing is, if nobody can see your metal anyway, then why sell the good stuff? You could just as well give them aluminium and bark.
Oh.
So there was a lot of Italian armor turned out to be fake because they have a good reputation. They just sell shit because It's wrapped in fabric, so people can see what's inside of it anyway.
Yeah.
So the English come up with the idea that when somebody tries to sell Italian armor, they have to put it on and then we shoot them with a pistol. If they die, the armor was clearly not good enough, and if they don't die, then okay, we can buy your armor. This might be a myth and it might be true.
Here's some interesting conversation. I'm just putting there's more pictures of the horse guys in the background. Nella says there's some new research suggesting that the Sutton Hoo helmet is made in Denmark. Robert's heard about this one too, and it looks. Yeah, I agree. It looks very interesting. I have to check that out. Have you seen that? The Sutton Hoo. I love the Sutton Hoo helmet. That's one of my
Well,
favorites.
the thing, I saw the headline and I skimmed it.
Yeah.
Basically, what I believed earlier was that it was made in Sweden, but now I believe it was made in Denmark. And the people who believe it is made in Denmark are Danish, so I wouldn't take everything I say for right off the bat. But the Anglo-Saxons are from Saxony, originally.
By the way, Robert says the archer is medieval English, not Saxon, a subject very close to my heart. Laugh out loud.
Yes,
No,
yes.
but I don't have the captions, so that's good that you're correcting it. We don't want to mess
Yeah,
up
no,
anything.
clearly.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I'm kind of skipping a little ahead because it takes a second before Carl has it in front of it. This one I also took because I'm a textile person. I don't know if I could get a much better photo of that or a close-up. I don't think no, I couldn't. It's just like the same one there, but well, just mention if you know what the armor is on this.
It's a breastplate, but
Yeah. He's looking at the breastplate. I'm looking at the really cool stuff underneath it.
I can't say anything about. I would say this is probably late, as in most people have gunpowder weapons at this time. So the breastplate is really heavy. It's meant to stop musket balls. So I would say possibly English Civil War. So
Yeah, it could be. We weren't up on the Asian floor yet or anything
Oliver
like that.
Cromwell era, and also the hilt of the sword puts me in the same time frame.
For you drummers out there, I thought this was kind of cool. You can see the wood that it's cut from, and that's actually quite a big drum. That would go up to my knee. I thought that was kind of fun to take a picture of. Some more stuff. There's a lot to get through. This also for you textile people. But again, we're not. I think we're still in the slightly modern floor. These are not Saxon or anything. Not that old. These are newer.
This is Asian.
Is it? No, this isn't on the Asian floor. This is before we got to the Asian floor. This is somewhere before the machine gun type things.
It's possibly Arabic or African, but
maybe.
I would be surprised if this turned out to be European. It could be, but I would be surprised.
This was something a little modern use of weapons. If you can see, somebody made a chair out of them. This is obviously nothing historical use, but it was kind of fun to see what they could do.
It's they have like 2 square meters in the fucking Royal Armory, set off for peace and pacifism. And
Yep.
this is one of the things that was in those 2 square meters.
I thought it was kind of cool though, so I took a picture of it. It reminded me a bit of the fence in Norfjordeid that was made out of the ends of guns. Here's some more for you to look at, Carl. This big weapon there and an axe. Can you see him enough to see? Oh, he's still here. Maybe you can fast forward on there. There it goes. If you do hit the 5 seconds every once in a while, the arrow.
Yeah, that's a volley gun. It's flintlock weapon, but as you see, multiple barrels. I would guess 6 or maybe 5 on this particular one. But it's not like a Gatling gun. It's not like it fires one barrel and then you turn it around and then it fires another one. Every time you pull the trigger, it fires all of them.
Oh, wow.
And the funny thing is, this kind of actually makes sense with the musket, because they have so much deviation from target because of just the fact that they have no riflings and the bullets are round. So they're spread all over the place. And they probably discovered this, that, okay, when we are firing into a line of into an opposing army, we rarely hit the guy we are aiming for, but we hit the guy next to him. So precision doesn't really matter. So how about if we could kill 6 guys instead of 1 guy? I think the recoil on this thing would be a bloody nightmare. But it's an interesting idea. And reloading it would take like forever.
Oh, wow. This one I actually took a picture of a plate on it. It's the effigy of Sir William I can't read the whole thing there. But Sir William, you can read which one it is there. It kind of gets cut off. Sir William Harcourt or something like that. Remember this guy here? It's the effigy. I mean, the whole thing is on there, but this is just looking straight down at his face. But I mean, you got the whole body, including feet. That guy. Do you remember the one that was?
Yep.
Yeah. It's a bit cut off, but you can see. I can see if they cut up to it. It's a little bit slow on my chat here. Navy volley gun, says Albert on the last one. Robert was talking about an earlier one too. He said that's English Civil War. It's a leather buff coat covered by a breastplate. Ah, yeah, the one that we were. Yep. The one that I was mostly looking at the thing underneath, but both of you guys are getting excited about the breastplates. Man, no. Anyway, so this was an effigy of yeah, and you can see it in that picture there. The Sir William Harcourt, something like that, and it gets cut off, so it's hard to see. But in the picture I have has the whole thing on it. But anyway, I just kind of thought that was kind of cool to see the effigy of it. It was. I need to have one of those of me when I die. Except they need more material. Okay, then we have. Here's
And
some
if
more fun
anybody
stuff for you.
tries to Google the Cuckoo Bear and Sir
Cuckoo
William Hardcore, you
Hardcore.
might have something to explain to your girlfriends.
Don't make me laugh. It causes me to cough. Okay, more weapons for you, Carl. And this one looks like it has some mechanism drawings. Again, they're kind of cut off, but. Recognize that one?
They look like percussion. Well, the rifle is flintlock, but the pistols, I think, are percussion.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say without getting a close-up of the
I think that's a really
mechanism.
long one, too, actually, when I see the actual photo on my phone log. Then there are these ones folded. Same display. It's catching up, Carl. Just hit the arrows on the bottom arrow on the bottom right. It'll move forward a bit. There you go. Those ones that fold down.
These are early breech loaders, but I'm uncertain about the mechanism.
Yeah. I thought they were kind of cool. So I'm taking pictures of everything. I have no idea what Carl's looking at. I'm pretty much constantly losing him at this point. Here's another gun coming up. Same case. This is still on the same floor in the armory. It is kind of sad that the sides are cut off of the picture, but...
This is percussion revolver, something like, but not entirely identical to the Colt Navy.
I think it's because I took square photos, because we'll put these in posts. By the way, we found out we can post on YouTube, and we thought that might be kind of a fun thing for a membership thing when we get it started, because everyone else would be just spammed with photos, but some people might want to... This I thought was kind of cool. It's a little gun box. And there's like some writing above it. I think that says what it's to, but I don't know if it's to that or to something else. But
This is a comically low caliber concealable weapon.
look at the cool box. If the gun had a box, I took a picture of it. I can't say. I'm sorry.
Much smaller than a 22. I don't know what caliber this is, but it's tiny.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get to the next one. There's a lot of photos. Oops, chat just moved. Let me see what it said. Albert says, my dad has a Colt Navy type. By the way, I think my chat's a little bit delayed on here. You might see it closer up on yours, though. Carl, since you got the computer. Let's see. Then we're getting into this thing. What is this? Oh, the spices. I like the spice jars. So now we're getting into the Persian part. Persian India and things like that, and so they had these little spice jars. I thought that looked kind of cool. Carl could give a rat's ass about what the things that they imported, but I thought they were quite cool. Okay, then we get into weapons. This is a little cut off as well, but there's sword-like, saber-like things. There should be another one, I think, of that. No, it's just moved over. That's another one. More of these. The decorations on them were really cool.
It's a basket-hilted Okay, now we're in.
Yeah. Eventually, I will post these on YouTube, and it'll be like a membership thing, but we'll do a cheap membership.
This
And then you can just kind of flip through all the
very
photos.
Indian.
It's too much for me to spam Facebook with.
I I don't understand why this is, but you'll probably see it depending on which kind of pictures she chooses. But there is something odd about Indian weapons. I think all of them must be extremely unpleasant to actually hold.
Mm.
The grip is always odd on anything made in India.
Yeah.
If it's made in China, Nepal, or Japan, it is pleasant to hold. If it's made in India, you really, really don't want to hold it.
By the way, James is also starting a new technique with curves and spiral stitch. I'm looking forward to seeing photos. Let's see. The next one. Yeah, I think this is kind of the same thing, just a different angle of it. But you can see the it's all in the same display case, though. I'll show you the more of them. I'm just going to keep flipping through these ones real quick, Carl. So.
Okay, these are the British weapons of the East. I see from the placard next to it,
really?
it's
Okay.
the rise of the East India Company. So this would be the British versions of things.
Okay, yeah, because if I try to zoom in to see it, they'll only see my face. There's some more. That's probably on the other side of the same thing. I'm going to flip to another one, so let me know when you've seen it, Carl.
Yeah, here you get an idea about what I'm
Oh,
talking
you
about.
can see it, okay.
Here you have some Indian weapons. The punching dagger is called the Qatar. And then you have some different versions of swords and daggers.
Mm.
Now try to imagine holding these things in your hand and wielding them. The sword that is not a punching dagger has like a big bulb on the middle of the grip. The other sword, the one with kind of hand protection type of thing, has a big spike on the end. And the little dagger there looks very flat and unpleasant to hold. I don't know why this is. It seems to not be a design criteria for Indian weaponsmiths that the weapon is actually possible to wield, which is weird.
Sorry. I'll come and show another picture here. I had to go and cough a few. Here's another one, I think, same area. Oh, these are bows. I thought Runa might want to see the bows. And then it says, the agent of imperialism. I think that's a string next to it, too, if I'm...
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
This bow probably looks completely normal as soon as it's strung, but it's a reverse... it's a recurve bow, so you string it the other way. So the way it looks now has nothing to do with how it would look if it was strung.
By the way, Torben says, how's the painting going, Carl? And he's got, a couple of Groucho Marx emojis on there. Speaking of paintings, we have to go back a bit. We found... Oh, I thought I took a picture of the store, but I did not. Anyway, but we found a store that sold Warhammer. So there's a bunch of figures and things that we saw that were kind of cool. I took a picture of all of those, but anyway, there was a store that was specifically for Warhammer figures. Here's another one that's real quick.
Yeah, but there is one of those in every town in England.
Yeah, but it was just Warhammer. It wasn't like
Yes,
Dungeons and
I
Dragons
know.
and
There
manga
was-
and everything. It was just
You
Warhammer.
remember the Chinese restaurant we stopped at in Swindon?
Yeah.
If we had gone 20 meters further up the road, we would have gone to Warhammer.
Oh, there
shop.
was one in Swindon as well. Yeah, you found one there too.
I told you, they were everywhere.
Yeah.
But when we ate the dinner, it was a Sunday, and we had I had already spent my Warhammer budget.
Yeah, you
so I
had.
didn't really want to go there.
The guy in London said, I'll throw one more Warhammer one at you here, and then I might be mixing it up into a different Warhammer version. But I liked that guy. It's one of those squigs. He was cool. And then they got the little Gretchen sitting on top, or Goblin, or whatever the hell it is. I want to paint that one. Paint that one for me, Torben. Okay, then we'll go back to the Royal Armories once Carl's done looking at that. That was our paid commercial for Warhammer. Apparently, it's not paid, but wouldn't it be fun if they did? Okay. Here were some more little jar displays. I thought was kind of cute. You could see there imports, representations of imported stuff. And then we have a little bit more import. I think this is the same display, just further. Oh, there was a book, a log book, which I thought was kind of nice. Okay, because I took a picture of anything that came with a box. It's a little cut off, but do you recognize which one that one is? It's a... I mean, all these boxes remind me of Pistols at Dawn and whatever.
And this is not a dueling set. This is
No.
just
There
how
was one
they.
later, though. We'll see when it went.
This is just how they sold weapons back in the days. And there's some really classy weapons are still sold like this today. You get them in the box with the loading tools, room for ammunition, and sort of thing. This one, I suspect it's a Webley, but I'm not sure.
PJ says, I'm still working on the replacement Fair Isle glove. At this rate, I will have it finished in time for the summer. I have 2 fingers and the thumb still to do. Oh, but you're making progress. That's a good thing, though. I haven't tried gloves in a long time. Albert says, I have held a few Indian swords, and they are surprisingly comfortable to hold. Does that surprise you?
Yes. Considering how they look everything but.
He also says regarding Warhammer, there are 3 stores in Swindon that sell Warhammers. I was kind of surprised. We found one in Leeds just by walking down the road. Here's another picture of a gun in a box thing. I liked the boxes. I can't help it. It all had a nice little compartment for everything. My little OCD mind was very happy.
This is another percussion revolver. I don't know which one.
If it was a box, I took a picture of it. It might not be something that gave you pause, but I needed to see. Okay, here's some more guns coming up, Carl. Little teeny tiny. This is like the mechanics of a gun. All right, it's kind of like all taken apart.
Yeah.
And then I'll go on to another one unless you want to talk about that one.
What I was basically saying here is that, sometime during the end of the Industrial Revolution, basically at the tail end of the American Civil War, people became capable of mass producing guns with interchangeable
Parts.
Before that, when you made a shotgun, for instance, the bolt that holds the shotgun to the stock fits on that shotgun, but the odds of it fitting on any other shotgun is minuscule.
Okay. This one's kind of far on my face, but you remember this one? It was kind of like a cannon thing. It's a little bit cut off, but...
Yes, it's a naval affair. It's earlier than it looks, and it fires. You load all 4 barrels, and then you shoot them in succession, and then you reload them.
Here's some more along that same category. The Gatling is starting to come in now. There was like a whole section here. This is part of it, and then there's one more picture I think I have of it. Are you caught up?
No, I am.
Okay. Do you want me to click to the next one, or do you want to talk about that one? The
These
next one is
are,
the one next to it.
Indian War era, so 1880s type Gatling guns.
Yeah, they were really cool. So it's kind of fun to see. I liked all the wood too. Let's see. Oops, I'm trying to send. There we go. So there was a whole little section up there. Then we're getting to firearms, Cape Colony. I think. Oh, there was a really, really long gun in this case. That thing was long. It is, of course, cut off on both sides, but that's. I was wondering why I took a picture of the display case. There was one really long gun there. If you tilted Carl on his side, it would still be longer.
Yeah. As a general rule, the longer your barrel, the higher your precision. At least if you have a rifled barrel. So it might be a sniper weapon of some sort, but I don't remember it specifically from the...
Oh, I thought it was cool. It's kind of fun to see what I took pictures of and what Carl actually looked at. This one I thought was kind of cool. It was a little case. There's another one like that too. Another picture of it. I don't know which one came out better, but I'll try the other one too, just in case it got cut off at different spots. No, it's pretty much the
Uh-huh.
same. This
Uh,
one you liked, I think.
this is
Oh yeah, Carl's smiling.
Mauser broomhandle. Unfortunately, the picture is cut in such a way that the reason it's called the Mauser broomhandle is completely invisible.
Yeah, sorry.
But the grip on this pistol looks like a broom handle. That's why they call it the Mauser broom handle. The thing underneath it is an attachable. It could be a sheet on your belt. As it could also be the stock on the gun if you want to turn your pistol into a small carbine.
Yeah.
Then you put this thing on the hand, and now you have a small carbine.
I'll get them uploaded and then we'll put them on. Turn the members thing on. We can only put like 5 pictures per post, and I think we can post up to 10 times a day. So it'll take a while to upload them. So that might be something to do before we turn on the membership thing because that'll spam like mad. We have a lot of pictures.
I
to
like
add.
these pistols. They have a very
Oh,
cool design,
Okay.
but they also have a little bit of a design flaw. Notice where your trigger finger is on this gun, and notice how far up the barrel is. This means that the recoil gets it's not mild like it is on, for instance, a Glock. In the same caliber, say 9 millimeters parabellum. If you shoot with this thing, it feels like the gun is actually trying to jump out of your hand every time you shoot with it. It's cool, but to shoot precisely, you have to learn how to compensate for it and how to quickly get your hand back into position every time the gun tries to put it in another direction.
Let's see. Then the next one is another box. Of course, it's cut off. But it's inside a box. And little compartments for the bullets, too. The shells. I'm eating Audra's pepper chocolate, by the way. This is going to make my nose drain.
This is a more modern centerfire revolver, but
But it has a box.
I
With
don't know
compartments.
which it is.
Carl's not fun. Oh, will it not let me show any more new ones? Oh, there we go. No, never mind. I'm learning how to... This is the first time we've ever been able to do like a slideshow thing on here. But now at least I know I have to have the pictures cut in a different direction to see. Here's more for the sewing people. That is machine sewed, by the way. I wasn't sure at first. I thought their stitches looked really, really cool, but no, it is machine sewed. At this time, they're using some sort of a... It's double stitch, too. So it's almost like they had two... The sewing machine had 2 needles going down at the same time. It's very evenly done. I might have another photo of that, because that was... Yeah, I did. The side. There you go. You can see all the detail.
Indian, I suspect.
Yeah, but it's textile and it looks really cool. So I took a lot of photos that I wanted to take a better look at later. Here's a shield. I don't know how much is going to get into the picture. Oh, we got most of it. This has really cool detail on it. It's got like all these metal bits. If you can see on there, like some gilding or something like that. PJ says, so not exactly authentic if machine sewn. Well, it depends on the time. This area that we're in now, I think we're into closer 17, maybe hundreds.
Yeah, if you're into the 1800s, hand operated
This would be a
sewing
hand
machines,
operated sewing machine. Yeah, there's something you can turn the crank
is
yourself.
definitely something that exists.
Yeah.
You will see them mentioned in Sherlock Holmes novels, for instance. So it's probably not in something that everybody has, but it's something that you definitely, if you're producing large scale
go back to it.
anything,
We can see it again.
you have access to it.
There you can see the stitching again. If you look around the side of these, they look like pockets anyway, but the patches, and you can see the stitching I was talking about. Okay, do you remember the shield that was just up, Carl? I'm going to put it back.
Yeah, but I don't know anything about that particular find, so I can't say.
You don't have to have anything to say about it, but look how cool it is. And then, of course, you can see the stitching on the cloak just next to it, or the underpiece. No, I just liked I liked all the little... I love details. I'm a detail kind of person. Here's some more weapons for Carl. They look like swords. It's a little too small on my screen to see.
Well, okay, this
chili chocolate is good when you're sick.
I don't know what this is. From the picture in the background, I don't know. And the sword design, I would say, again looks Indian to me.
Oh, it's right next to the previous one. So you can see it in this photo here, kind of. See, it's right off to the side. That's what I took a picture of there.
The
There you are.
okay. The rifles very much look like they are muskets, but they might be rifles. I can't say. Depends on time.
Yeah.
If before Napoleonic War, muskets. If after Napoleonic War, probably rifles.
Now we're one floor up, and it's the same picture of that guy falling down. It still kind of cuts off though, but you can see a person in front of it for size. Actually, no, this does show a little bit different angle, a bit more. I was also thinking of using one of these as a thumbnail, but it is pretty faded. I mean, everything is looks very bleached. But you can see by the size of that guy anyway, and then it just kind of goes on just about the same amount in both directions. The whole display there. I got some more pictures of it, but they look alike to be about in the same spot. Here's another one, Carl. This is... Oh, you liked this one. It's a sharp, pointy weapon.
Oh, that's a Fiber Sykes commando knife. Fiber and Sykes were two English police officers that were basically hired by the commandos during Second World War to develop a knife and a fighting style to go with it. And this is their product. You also... I am looking for it, but I haven't found it. They wrote a book. And the book is very British, and it's about murdering people with a knife.
Well, that sounds fun.
I want to read it.
By the way, referring to that, because my chat's a little delayed anyway, said that was very oddly shaped very oddly shaped TO, I think it was. I can't read that far. And then that was PJ, and then Albert says the one with the green sheath is the type of saber that I have held. And that would be if I go back to it real quick, probably not this one. Yeah, maybe, yeah, this one. I think is the one he's referring to. I'll zip back ahead again. So
This looks almost normal.
Yeah. Then there's another gun. That one has some writing next to it. Maybe most of it made it in shot.
It's a Walter PPK.
Yeah. I think it was because it was a small gun. If it was a small gun, I took a picture of it too. If it looked like I could fit it in a purse or a box, I took a picture.
And it's common knowledge that James Bond uses a woman's gun.
Yeah. I also took pictures of really long weapons too, so I don't know. Here's some more knives for you. These ones I think had... Oh, are we in the World War...
I don't know what this is.
knives, but look at the insignia. I think we might be into...
I still don't know what this is.
That might not be the one I'm thinking is. Anyway, I just recognize the colors. And we have... Ooh, guns with big-ass magazines.
This is...
This is all World War II, isn't it? World War I, sorry.
Japanese weapons from World War II.
World War II. Okay.
The katana is in that giveaway, but they also had some really weird machine guns, like the one at the bottom.
Now, if I put my head in front of the screen, that's all you see is my head. Okay, then there's some more. I took a bunch of pictures from that area. Here's a little gun. This looks like something out of Indiana Jones.
It's another Walter, I believe. But I don't remember the name of this one. The one you see kind of in the background is a lot more famous.
Oh.
We are now looking at German weapons, clearly.
Yeah. I might have another... I don't know if I have a picture. I took a whole bunch from this area, so it might be in...
The one in the foreground is
That's not one of these.
Walter, and the one in the background is a Luger.
Oh. Okay, and then there's these ones. I can't remember why I took a picture of... Oh, the one on the bottom was kind of cool, I thought.
The one at the bottom is the MG42. These are the German weapons of World War II.
Both of those are Walter, said Albert, and that's, of course, regarding the previous one. Robert said That was World War II German fighting knife. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was gonna say. I think we're in World War II now in this area. Tip of the sword had an odd tip on that sword. Yeah, that's what PJ was saying. Oops, I'm still trying to push the wrong buttons here. Let's see. Then we had some more from this whole section. I think that was. Oh yeah, maybe you could see the inside of one of the tops, the feeder. Yeah, look at the one in the middle, like this big open. Unless I'm not seeing the right photo.
Well,
Like,
these are Russian weapons from World War II.
yeah. I think that was one you could see where you could load it inside, or I don't know. I took a couple pictures of those too. Here's some more. Oops, sorry. There. Yeah, the one on the bottom again. It's one that looks like it's got like this big screw crank kind of a drill thing going on there. I like my descriptions of the guns more than yours.
Here I have a problem because I can't see the mechanism. I can't really see.
Yeah, because it got a bit cut off.
I can't really see which gun this is. But judging from the other ones and what's probably the blade of a katana, I'm guessing it's the Japanese machine gun. I don't remember the name of it, but it had a reputation for being the most horrible machine gun of the Second World War. Where you sometimes had to, in addition to one guy shooting it, you had to have one guy standing next to him and holding the belt up, and one guy standing on the other side and actively spraying oil into the mechanism to get it to work.
Albert wrote the gun with the side mag is German. That would be probably previous one because, like I said, there's a little time delay on the chat. Then we get to, I think we still have a few more in this section. Oh man, it's just cut off. I think that was just a really big weapon with, and you had to have these big straps to hold it up.
Oh, that's the Piat.
Oh, okay.
It's very hard to see on this picture.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if I have a better one. Oh, here we go, maybe. Or not, it's the same photo, for fuck's sake. I'm suck. I see it's in this one too. Again, it's close, it's kind of zoomed in, but you can see the mechanism of
This
it.
kind of explains it to some extent.
Okay. I might have one more. I'll just see if it's a little bit better, and then we go back to that one if it isn't.
As for anti-tank weapons under the Second World War, the Americans had the bazooka, the Germans had their Panzerschreck and Panzerfaust, and the British had the Piat.
We'll
The other ones are using rockets and directional explosives. The Piat uses a big spring and directional explosives.
Enfield in front of the Piat, yeah.
What?
Sorry, Albert wrote Enfield in front of the Piat.
Yeah. So instead of using a rocket system, they're using a spring loading system, where you have a very solid spring that fires the grenade, so it just goes plonk when
this
it
was
fires.
Inside that. That was the mechanism if you looked into it.
Yeah.
The spring loading thing or whatever. I'm so good at this topic. You ready for the next one?
Yep.
Okay. Same section. Yeah, of course the handle's missing on that one, but you can see the front.
B40.
Okay, I'm not going to take square photos for this anymore. I took square photos for because if I post them on YouTube, it cuts it into a square, but maybe I should just do one of each next time.
That's the machine pistol is an MP40. It's sometimes mistakenly called the Schmeisser, because the Germans had a really good weaponsmith called Schmeisser. But basically, the only thing he did with MP40 was to occasionally be in the room when people were working on it. He had his other projects that were more important to him. So he has nothing to do with it. It's an MP40.
Okay, and then we get into these guys. Now we're moving along again. This is more on the machine gun ones. This is just the other side, I think, of the display.
Yeah. These are early ones. I don't know exactly which ones they are, though.
Then we got to something I thought was kind of cool, and Carl's just like, oh man. Okay, so there's this picture, and there's a lot of sections of it, and I'm just gonna kind of zip through these a little bit. Here's like one edge of the picture. Let's see, it's a little slow. There we go. Because well, that just shows you the frame. Yay! But all of these are wood carvings, a bunch of little pieces of wood carvings. Carl's getting up so you can kind of see the detail in them. I don't know how well it shows up, but these were just amazing. And this is an art installation that somebody had made. So it's nothing historical about it. It's more current. Here's another. We'll fly through these while he takes a 5-second break. Did you leave your microphone? Yeah, you did. Okay. So you didn't take it outside with you? Raging river and all?
Pretty sure I left it.
Yeah, you did. Okay. That one. I think about 8 of these photos. Look how cool that is. It's carved all out of wood. I mean, like, the detail and goes straight. You can see there's volume and depth. Might have taken a better one of that. More of them. You can always go back and pause if you want to see these a bit better. But I think I might have taken 10 of these photos. And it basically tells a story. More through there. I didn't get too much time to look at this, so that was one of the biggest reasons I took a picture of all the panels. Unfortunately, some are getting cut off on the side. Oh, I can hear him outside coughing, poor guy. Probably should stop smoking, huh? There's some more. And then you're probably not getting a chance to focus, but I think I have one more left and then we'll go. Oh no, I have some close-ups here. There's a ship. Schooner, I believe. Look at the carving on that thing. But if he doesn't get back soon enough, then I'll go back again. We can see these a bit more. It's just we took so many photos. And then, let's see. I could stare at these wood carvings forever. Look at the building. I mean, it's just so nice. And it's a pretty big one. It's probably about 4 feet tall and I want to say 8 feet long, this whole display. I think I have some more. Sinking ship. Beautiful wood carving. You take me to a weapon museum and I'm taking pictures of boxes and wood carving. We are back at weapons again. Carl, you ready? Oh, he's throwing some more wood on the fire. Let's see, we can look again at the first one. I might have zipped through quickly. You can see all the different panels on there. No idea if the ones in the back is Springfields, said Albert Maxims maybe. Torben says, ooh, shading for the win on those carvings. Yeah, no, they did absolutely awesome. I was hoping I could get some. I took a few close-ups of the ones that that really stood out. And I mean, like, this one was amazing. But they did really, really good job on that. And of course, the sinking boat is one of my favorites too, because it's so tragic. And then Carl's cutting off the screen again. You gotta sit backwards, Carl. The computer is coming through. There you go. Okay, I'll give Carl a weapon to play with, and then I'll fix the thing. Here we go. Okay. Name that weapon, Carl. That one actually is in the photo.
It's a trench knife.
It's a trench knife from the First World War. Probably British. Could be German or American, but probably
There's a little
British.
sign next to it, but I can't see it. Without shoving my head in the camera. Outrage. Pepper chocolate is perfect today. I'm loving it. Okay, next one. There we go. This was a really fat blade. And then, of course, the sheath underneath it. So the handle, you can just barely see it off to the one side of the screen there. And it kind of looks like a big fish. I don't know. What is it? It was a really fat blade anyway. You said something about it. There's actually a picture underneath it, isn't it?
It's a buller knife. I don't know much about them.
Albert said, and I'm assuming the previous photo. I want one, but they are illegal. Oh, British, said Torben on the other one. And Outer's got happy faces. She's good that she picked a good day to send us. Turned out to be almost I don't know, like you knew we were gonna get sick, and the pepper chocolate would come in handy. This one was the beating stick, the club. Now we're into police brutality. The beater. If you're at a Harry Potter game, I don't know, you can see those spikes on it.
No, that's still the First World War. They discovered that trench warfare, particularly when you go into somebody else's trench, gets a little bit personal. So you need like the personal touch on things. That's why you have the combined knife and knuckle duster with the trench knife, and also why you had this thing.
Robert said, I thought that was the previous one. I think it's a British type of jungle knife. That could be.
That's possible, yes.
Yeah. So, how much do you have to misbehave to get hit in the head with one of those clubs?
Not at all. You just have to be a soldier on the wrong side at night when somebody from the other side finds your trench.
Okay, next photo. Because we have lots. We haven't even made it to the Asian area. This one looks like you're cut off quite a bit, but you see these little cage areas on these weapons. There's like a cage on the top.
I have to guess. The only obvious reason I can see for these cages is that when you shoot this at a high rate of fire, the barrel gets really, really hot. And if you have a way that you can handle the weapon without actually touching the barrel, that's a good thing.
By the way, when we get these posted, then we can write something in the caption that we find out what they are. It's kind of weird, though, that we have to post it as a square. But in YouTube, if we want to send it on the live, it needs to be 19 by 6. There's also, you can see a bit of the mechanism on that one that I liked. And then you can see in the picture below it what the top-down version looks. Into that metal chamber, there's like a big cavity.
I suspect this is some kind of, it's not a Piat, but from the diagram beneath, it looks like it operates on the same system. It has a spring that fires something. Might be a flare, might be a grenade, might be whatever. T-shirt.
The previous one, Albert writes, police baton with nails in it. And Torben says, probably for preventing the plane fuselage to catch fire. That was the one with the cage one, I think. Aldra says, by the way, I didn't notice that it had chili in it. I was choosing Italian from a trip over to New York, but I'm very happy to hear that it's suitable right now. Well, I gotta say, it's not usually my favorite thing to put chili in there, but right now this is perfect. With chili pepper, though. It's not, well, it's pepper, but it says chili pepper. But no, it's actually quite perfect because it gets your sinuses going, that's for sure. I just have to take small bites at a time. You do not want to, like, munch the whole thing in one sitting.
This one actually has me so curious that I will have a look at the picture afterwards and zoom in on the placard to find out what it is.
Yeah. By the way, on the cage one too, Torben was mentioning from the warm barrel. Okay. So, yeah. Now, when we get these posted, you're going to have to do captions on these two so we can see what they are. And then we can put them up like 10 at a time. Then we got... Oh, no, there's some more here. I can see. I just forgot where I left off at. Here's another little gun. It has a really kind of a cool... what the hell do you call that? The cylinder that the bullets go in. It has an interesting markings on it.
But that one is not little at all. It's a Webley. They are much bigger. You kind of get the impression when you see them in pictures that they are small, but they are big. They are really big. The Webley was the sidearm of British officers and commandos and so on. Well, not exactly commandos, they didn't have that term yet, but special forces, anybody who needed a pistol. In the First World War, we get one of these. But because it is very high caliber, and people shoot worse with high calibers than they do with low calibers. In between the wars, the Brits exchanged this for the Smith & Wesson 1919, so a 38 special. And they shot a lot better. The problem is that if you get hit by this this is 454 Webley. You notice it. If you get hit by a 38, you roll up a cigarette and you shoot back. So commandos and other people that actually had to kill people with handguns, which is very rare in modern warfare, absolutely did not like the Smith & Wesson 1919. So they would either go to their grandfather and say, hey, do you still have your Webley? Or they would go and find an American and go, hey, I know your gun, and Colt 45 has a little bit more stopping power than my Smith & Wesson. So how about I give you my British food, which is better than your American food, and my British field bed, which is better than your American field bed, and this little crappy American pistol that I don't want, and you give me the American pistol I do want. And so deals like this were made all the time.
Robert said, by the way, and again, it could be a previous one, said, what the fuck is that? It's, looks like it's based on a Martin Henry rolling back rifle, if I'm reading that correctly. And then Garcia's on the same page as me. Love the carvings, all the arms, not so. And then she had to go. But I agree there. Yeah, no, so you can see why I spent a lot of time taking pictures of the modern carvings while he's there looking for weapons. Anne's replying to Outer, the shield of the guy did give some indication, though. Albert said, middle gun is the Henry Martini breech and the stock, but I don't know what model they have done at the top of the... done to it. The top is Enfield, and the bottom, I don't remember the name. Oh, Nikki's she's hyped from New Zealand. She said she needed the sleep. Okay, let's get you another photo in here, by the way. We haven't even made it to the Asian part. Here's another one. I think I've got 2 photos of this one. It just had a really fun looking magazine, so I took a picture of it. This might be when we're starting to move into the... No, we're not in the fantasy weapons yet.
No, this is a real weapon, but...
Yeah, I think I have one more picture of it, but it's probably the exact... It's just a different angle, I think.
I'm not familiar with it. I kind of want to say Japanese.
Maybe.
Because they have really bad guns. This I would classify as a really bad gun.
Went too far.
But I don't know.
Then we're into something that I thought was quite cool. You want to explain what's going on in this picture? Actually, I took a whole video of it. More or less as research for what we should be doing in the village.
Every day the Royal Army has 3 or 4 shows or lectures. This is a show and a lecture in a way about Anglo-Saxon versus Norman. So the guy with the little round shield is an Anglo-Saxon and the other guy is a Norman. And they are just fighting and talking.
They were very entertaining though. They were very good.
Entertaining and very good.
Very choreographed.
Very good show.
Then we took some pictures in the bookstore. I'll zip through those real quick, but basically it was some of these we have in our own shop, but not all of them. But there were some that Carl wanted to remember.